makes me crazy. I dream about our babies, gazing them days and contagious. You're my baby. We know each other like the back of our hands. Understand, there's no mistaking. I'm taking 'cause you're my drug.
All right, so this is There It Is by Shalimar. Shout out to Casualty for this.
You know, that was a point in time, especially like in the 80s when that was like a very, very like important time. It was almost like a Renaissance period. I feel like it, as far as like just like dancing and stuff like that, like songs that just catered around like dancing and real good, feel good songs. That was like a little point in time. I feel like in the 80s, that was like a Renaissance time.
Like for this type of music, you mean? Like in particular?
Like you already had like disco, but I just feel like when this music kind of came along.
Was it the 80s though? Like I feel like that kind of started in the 70s.
It kind of did, but I feel like in the
funk
80s,
and the disco, like that's when that was really a thing. I mean,
yeah, but in the 80s, I feel like there was a shift, there was a change because it wasn't just like the music and the dancing, but it was everything from like the wardrobe. People had they wore their hair. Like I feel like it was different. It just kind of changed, and it does that every like 10 years or so. But I'm just saying, like in the 80s, I felt like that was like a big change.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe.
Like, obviously, the music, because you hear the funk in it, you hear the bass. But I'm just saying, just as far as like it from a whole perspective, from the music to like actual everyday reality.
Yeah.
And how people were living. And
well, maybe because
like
wasn't it the 80s where rock kind of had slowed down, or country? No, it was country music. I always get that mixed up. I feel like rock continued to go like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Mm-hmm. There was never like a downtime for rock. I think it was country music in the 80s that kind of just was very bland in a sense. Yeah. So maybe
because people were skating in the 70s, but I feel like in the 80s, like they just had like some of the songs in the 80s was just like that's so skate, like that's the art, you know.
Well, then maybe you might be right.
From skating to like the dance and all of that.
Especially for music like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find its way back home. Girl, you're mine. Now that we found love, we've got to carry on. There it is.
That's how they was getting. Hey, that's how you was getting it. That's what I'm saying. It's like it was getting it. It was getting it in the 80s. It was just, it was a whole different. Like the vibe just changed.
What would you like categorize this as? Like pop more so probably just because of the sound in this. Like it didn't sound obviously no rock. It sounded more R&B-ish to me, but for some reason I feel like more pop to me.
This one you got like more like the funk music, like kind of like funky with the bass.
Pop was a category in the 80s, right, y'all?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Okay.
But no, I don't feel like it was necessarily pop. I feel like it was more like just like the dance music, like when people were using like the synthesizers and the funk music.
Yeah.
Like Euro dance a little bit, like for the techno
R&B
stage.
Pop. Yeah, soul and funk. Like
R&B,
because it did sound funk to me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like just kind of
because of the bass, because you got the bass in there, popping the bass in there, you know, all of that.
Yeah.
And then it's like it has that. I don't know what tempo it's going to, but it's a little that quick dance tempo. You can do it. You can groove, smooth, and then you can dance. You can skate to it. So that, like I said, it just opened up a big lane.
You got it all together.
Lost in your body, boy, I'm addicted. Insisting commitment, predicted your intentions. I've waited too long, I need you, babe, every day. I can't get enough, boy, be my body.